welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling something that honestly can feel a bit daunting, but is absolutely essential, and that is navigating U.S. bureaucracy. Specifically, we're going to break down the exact step-by-step process for getting a U.S. state ID as an immigrant. If you've just arrived in the United States, or maybe you're planning your move right now, the sheer amount of paperwork can feel completely overwhelming. But don't worry, we're going to demystify this entire process together, just looking straight at the facts.
So I want you to take a second and picture this scenario. Imagine the stress of finding the absolute perfect apartment, but when you go to sign the lease, you can't prove your local identity. Or picture walking into a bank to open an account so you can finally start saving your hard-earned money. Or trying to enroll in classes for a new semester only to be stopped dead in your tracks. Why? Because you lack recognized localized identification. Now, your home country passport is fantastic for crossing borders, but for daily routine tasks here in the U.S., you need something local. And that brings us to the fundamental question we're solving today. How do you actually prove who you are in a brand new country? Here's our clear roadmap for this explainer. First, why get a state ID? Second, are you eligible? Third, gathering your required documents. Fourth, navigating the DMV visit. And finally, real ID versus standard ID. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. Why get a state ID? Unlocking everyday American life. So, a state ID card is basically an official photo identification issued by a state's Department of Motor Vehicles, which you're almost always going to hear referred to as the DMV. Just think about the sheer everyday utility of this single piece of plastic. You need it for banking, renting that apartment, school and college enrollment, age verification, and really just general daily activities. The stakes are pretty high when you don't have one, but I promise you, obtaining this card is a highly achievable solution to almost all of your early bureaucratic headaches in the U.S. It instantly legitimizes your presence in the eyes of local businesses and institutions.
Moving on to Section 2. Are you eligible? Who can apply?
Okay, let's dive right into who can actually get one of these IDs, because I really want to ease any worry that you might not qualify. The U.S. casts a remarkably wide umbrella when it comes to accepted legal immigrant statuses for a state ID. Seriously, most legal immigrants can apply. If you're a green card holder, meaning a permanent resident, you're good to go. Are you an international student on an F1 or J1 visa? You're eligible. Work visa holders, like those on H-1B or L-1 visas, you're covered too. The same goes for refugees, asylees, and really any other lawful immigrants who possess valid immigration documents. The big takeaway here is that if you're here lawfully, there's a very clear pathway for you to get this ID.
Section 3. Gathering your required documents. Preparation is key.
Look, I completely acknowledge that paperwork is universally stressful. Nobody likes gathering documents, right? But we're going to conquer this by logically chunking the requirements into 4 super manageable buckets. First up, you need proof of identity. This could be your valid foreign passport with a visa, your green card, which is also known as an I-551, or your employment authorization card, your EAD. Second, you need proof of immigration status. Think your I-94 arrival and departure record, a visa, or specific student documents like an I-20 or DS 2019. Third bucket, your social security number. You'll bring your actual social security card, or, if you don't qualify for one, a letter from the Social Security Administration stating your ineligibility. And finally, proof of state residency. Now for this one, pay attention, because you usually need 2 separate documents. Think along the lines of a utility bill, a bank statement, a lease agreement, an insurance statement, or just official mail clearly showing your name and your new address.
Let's actually see how this builds for 2 very specific groups. By comparing these side by side, we can easily filter out the noise. If you're an international student, your checklist generally looks like this: your passport, your visa, your I-20 form, your I-94 record, your SSN if you have one, and of course those 2 proofs of address we just talked about. On the flip side, if you're a green card holder, your path is slightly more streamlined. You typically just need your green card, your social security card, and those 2 proofs of address. So just find exactly what applies to your unique situation, stick them in a safe folder, and boom, you are officially prepared.
Section 4. Navigating the DMV visit. The action phase.
All right, now that your documents are gathered and organized, it's time to take the fear of the unknown out of actually visiting the DMV. We're going to string these final hurdles together to show some forward momentum. Step 1. Start online. Do not skip this. Visit your state's DMV website to review any specific local requirements, fill out an online application if they offer one, and most importantly, schedule an appointment. Step 2. Visit the DMV office in person. This is where you'll submit your application, proudly hand over the documents you organized, take your brand new ID photo, and sign your name. Step 3 is just paying the fee. Step 4 is the verification process. And finally, Step 5 is receiving your actual state ID.
I do want to briefly clarify what happens during Step 4, the verification process, because honestly, the word verification can sound a bit intimidating. Don't sweat it. During this part of the visit, the DMV is simply verifying the exact 4 buckets of information you already meticulously prepared: your identity, your immigration status, your address, and your social security info. They're literally just confirming that the paperwork you brought matches the official records. That's it.
And what about Step 3, paying the fee? I really want to reassure you about the financial aspect of this whole process. Getting a state ID is incredibly accessible. Depending on the state you live in, the fee usually ranges from just $10 to $40. It is a highly reasonable investment for a document that's going to unlock so many daily conveniences for you.
And what about the time commitment? Well, if you did Step 1 and booked an appointment online beforehand, the actual time you spend at the DMV office is usually just between 15 and 60 minutes. It takes what people so often joke about being this all-day nightmare and turns it into a very short, highly manageable errand.
So the crucial point is knowing when you actually get the card, right? Let's set some clear expectations here. Some states are fantastic, will hand you a temporary paper ID immediately, right before you even walk out the door. However, the physical, permanent plastic card is securely mailed to your address, which usually takes anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks.
Finally, Section 5, Real ID versus Standard ID, choosing the right card.
Okay, so there is a critical choice you're going to have to make for your future travel while you're standing right there at the DMV counter. They will ask if you want a standard state ID or a real ID. Now, a standard state ID is fantastic. It's used for all your everyday identification, like banking and age verification. However, a real ID goes a step further. A real ID could actually be used for domestic flights within the United States and for entering secure federal buildings. So if you plan on flying from, say, New York to California, and you really don't want to carry your foreign passport with you every time you hit the airport, the real ID is absolutely the upgrade you want to ask for.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer. We've covered the why, the who, the what, and the how. You've got the roadmap, you know exactly which documents to gather, and you know exactly what to expect when you walk through those DMV doors. So I'll leave you with this final thought as you prepare to conquer this process. Which ID will you choose, the standard or the real ID, to officially unlock your brand new life in the United States? Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and best of luck on your journey.